Good morning and hello, everyone. Welcome to August 1st, my birth month, right? It's amazing to be here. July was great. It was a great time, a ton of profit made, some great lessons learned, some great experience accrued. But I'm excited for August, right? We're in the heat of the summer. They said it's supposed to feel like 107 degrees today. So please be safe out there. Wild, wild weather. I've got to be on the road today, just heads up. So I won't be here from, roughly like 11 to I'm trying to get back by power hour if we don't act up on the Beltway, right? I knew I had to eat one of these days. I for sure didn't want it to be yesterday, right? With Powell going off and everything. Um, but it has to be today. So, I'll see what happens. But I'm just praying to the Lord above that I do not have to sit in traffic in 100-degree weather. If so, it will definitely take divine patience, on that drive. But good morning, everyone. Hope you guys got in a great morning. Yesterday was a great day for us. YouTube wanted to comply this morning, which is nice. It couldn't pick up my microphone or the webcam yesterday. So we're good, off to a great start. We didn't let that slow us down. Doubled our money overnight on AMD, right? Then also day traded AMD for nice scalp profits. So yesterday was a great day, right? Yesterday was a great day. We were on top of the movement from the Fed, right? Our classic fade the first move strategy ended up working out. Although I personally didn't really look to capitalize on it. I was more so trying to gauge what some of these more important tickers were doing and what daily closes we were getting, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, puts paid off in that, we caught the top there and we came all the way back down to pre-market high, which of course was great. Easy to identify right support in terms of taking those puts. And a few people executed on that. So overall great work, right? Really great work, and we're not getting caught up in the spin cycle. We also scoped out some really, really nice lead positions, right? Some nice lead positions. Yesterday was the last day of the month. We got a lot of monthly closes, which are very important to watch, right? When you're looking for longer term positions that you can hold in a retirement account or in a long swing account, right? Where you can go and, sit in a trade for 6 months to a year and it gets you exponentially higher returns than you would if you were just sitting in the stock alone, right? So I'm excited for us moving forward. Every dip is a gift, right? In the market, every dip is a gift, and I'm excited to capitalize on it. And even some stocks that have been going crazy, right? Even some stocks that have been running, right? They've run just far enough to take them over resistance, so they still got more room to run, right? The beauty of all this is that there's always some opportunity for your money to be working harder than you are. I make sure the money is the hardest working person that I know, right? I'm going to do a few clicks on the computer, this, that, and the third, but my money's going to be working for me double time. That's exactly what you want on all time frames, right? Not just short term, but long term time frames as well. And if you don't currently have your money working harder than you do, right? If you aren't, bringing in equal to or more money, right, in markets as opposed to what you're making with earned income, reach out, right? We need to have a conversation. That is the goal, right? That's the goal wholeheartedly. You want to have multiple streams all the time, right? All the time in a world full of disruption where we don't know what the heck is around the corner, what update might patch us out, and what, breakthrough might do this, that, and the third. We got to be ready, right? Controlling what we can control. Now, we're here for one reason and one reason only, even on August 1st, the first day of the month. 1% better. That's the goal, right? That accrues and that accumulates and that doubles and triples and quintuples. So 1% better is what we're trying to get each and every day. We do that with intention. We don't come in and say, man, I hope something will happen. I hope this trade will hit for me. I hope, I hope, I hope. No, I am ensuring I wake up each and every day and I ensure that I get 1% better before I lay my head to sleep at night. Each and every day, at least one. That way I don't have to do anything crazy. It might just be I sent an email I was dreading sending, right? Or I set this appointment or whatever I needed to happen, I did, but I got 1% better. That's all we're aiming to do here each and every day. We like to keep it light, but keep it consistent. You do that, you'll change your life, right? Kind of bring the expectations for yourself and what you want to do down because we all think I've got to make $1 million. I've got to cure cancer. I've got to cure Alzheimer's, and I've got to get my kids to soccer practice on time. Like it's a Tuesday, Patricia. It's okay If you get the kids there on time, you'll learn a little bit about the research that you're doing, right? And you execute a little bit on this side, but all those things don't have to get done. Make a to-do list, cross things off, feel good about yourself, feel accomplished, and then go into the next day with positive momentum. Consistency is better than talent all the time. Consistency beats out everything, right? So focus on that. You'll live a great life, and let's contribute to that great life here today. Starting with our top news, Jetson's Law. So, Minnesota has become the second U.S. state where flying car regulations have gone into effect, following the lead of New Hampshire, which passed similar legislation back in 2020. The new law will give private citizens the right to own roadable aircraft, granting drivers the ability to become pilots of the same vehicle. No more traffic and everyday transportation might come with a big price tag for now, but it's still several decades before a regular family navigates in the year 2062. Orbit City, the so-called Jetsons Law, allows airplane to car hybrids to register as motor vehicles, but instead of a traditional license plate, they will be permitted to use their tail number. Flying cars will also have to take off and land from a suitable airfield, meaning no descents onto roadways or public highways barring an emergency. While taking to the sky, the dual purpose vehicles will have to abide by the all FAA rules, which will become more important as more states adopt similar legislation. Quote, I think we're close to regulation at the federal level, said Jimmy Duchovny, CEO of flying car company Aleph Aeronautics. Quote, healthy market competition is good for the industry. Governments are starting to realize the economic and environmental advantages of flying cars. Doran Merdinger, CEO of a similar startup called Deroni Aerospace, said. And he also feels that it is, quote, smart to get ahead of the curve and start planning on how to integrate these vehicles into our daily lives. Now, the big leagues, traditional plane makers like Airbus and Boeing, as well as commercial carriers like American Airlines, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines, are pouring millions into flying taxis, eVTOL prototypes, and transportation partnerships. Other air mobility firms with skin in the game include Archer Aviation, ticker ACHR, Eve Air Mobility, ticker EVEX, Joby Aviation, ticker JOBY, Lilium, ticker LILM, and Vertical Aerospace, ticker EVTL. So I bet you didn't know about, flying car and flying taxi companies that are publicly traded, but you just got one, two, three, four, five of them, right there. Interestingly, most car makers are sitting this one out, instead focusing most of their R&D on self-driving and autonomous features, as well as electric and hybrid technology. Yeah, I think that's smart, right? At the end of the day, if I'm Tesla, if one of these companies, produces something that can work, I could buy you. So I think that's what they're looking to do. They're like, hey, you do what you do best, focus on it. They've got their hands plenty full with full self-driving, autonomous driving, and then with electrification. So I'm not mad at it. Now, stocks, time to celebrate. Fed Chair Jerome Powell has confirmed that an interest rate cut, quote, could be on the table as soon as September. If inflation and jobs continue to improve, that means that it will happen, right? Translation, keep an eye on the incoming data. That's what he repeatedly, said yesterday. The odds of a 50 basis point rate cut also climbed after the comments, underscoring the market's confidence the monetary policy easing cycle was imminent. That he did touch on. Yesterday, surprisingly, they did ask him good questions. Normally the questions are dog water, but they were great questions that were asked yesterday, and it's worth going back to watch. It's not a super long, press conference or anything. I think it might have been like a half hour, but he touched on that. Someone asked, "Hey, is a 50 basis point rate cut on the table?" And he shot it down pretty quickly, right? He said, "No, it's not what we have planned." And then he said, if we do cut, that isn't something that we've currently talked about or that is on the table. So if they do cut, it's looking like, at least for right now, it's a 25 basis point rate cut. But again, you don't know based off of what he says, right? But it was just, he kind of answered like knee jerk reaction and was like, no, we don't have plans for that. And then was like, yeah, if we do cut, right? We're not saying that we do, but if we do cut, which I just said that we are going to, and that's not the plan to cut that much, but right, it was kind of like he, had to walk it back. But yeah, I mean, at the least, we get a 25 basis point rate cut in September. That's what it's looking like. Unless we get crazy, horrible inflation data at some point between now and then, it looks like the first cut will come in a month, which is very, very welcome. Very, very welcome cut. And we've been, trading things that can take advantage of that. And we'll be looking to see, kind of how money piles into certain sectors based off of that update as well. When you know how to use things like stock options and you have paid in order to get a successful system and a successful mindset to consistently execute, right, within that vein, you can turn any new update into a possibility. Oh, this company had a breakthrough here. Oh, there's this, pursuit of this that's going on. Oh, there's, this war that's happening. There's this, regardless of what happens and how it may shake things up, you can use it to make sure you're putting food on the table. And once you learn how to do it, once you're in an environment to do it consistently, no one can take it away from you. That's the amazing thing, right? The thing that I love is that if something happened and I lost everything today, right? If I lost everything today, I'd be able to go back and rebuild it, right? That's the key thing to me because you never know what could happen and take it all away. You have no idea, right? So if you have the ability to go and to build it again, and you have the confidence in the system and the mindset in order to do so, no one can ever defeat you, right? Until you're dead, no one can defeat you. And that's where you want to get to the point where you have the systems in place and you have the mindset to no matter what update comes out, no matter, what new program does this or what new robot does that or what has been replaced, who's in office, right? At the end of the day, all that is of no consequence to me because what do I know? I know the person inside of me is solid, right? I know that the God that's on the inside of me drives me to continue to make decisions that I need to make, right? I give myself the space to hear that voice from the inside of me. All of that is key, right? Key to be able to continue to hone the mindset that I've honed, and to be able to constantly build. So yeah, well, the tides are shifting, and once again, this provides a huge economic opportunity. I already talked about AI stocks; all those are already paying us handsomely, right? And we've got some that are still coming down the pipeline. We'll be paid off of those for the next decade, right? But there are other things to make money off of as well. And if we get that cut, there's going to be a number of sectors specifically that benefit from this. So that'll be, some fun stuff to look into here as we approach that September timeframe. AI news tech is back. Following the rally, Meta soared 7.2% after hours to $509 a share after its Q2 results easily beat expectations. More importantly, the tech giant reassured investors about underlying growth, especially in its core advertising business, despite massive spending on artificial intelligence. A major area of focus is figuring out the right level of infra capacity to support training and more advanced AI models. CEO Mark Zuckerberg said on an earnings call, quote, at this point, I'd rather risk building capacity before it's needed than too late, given the long lead times for spinning up new infra projects. By infra, he believes like, I believe he's talking about like infrastructure. But yeah, Meta beat. Not really surprising. I was watching here before close, and it did have a lot of call volume that came in before close. We got our bag on AMD, doubled our money overnight. I had no reason to take playing earnings and turn it into a motif for anything other than like clear cut bullishness. Right? AMD gave us just an easy layup with confirming exactly what was going down, and other than that, right, we want to be focused on other really solid looks and not get caught up in the earnings sauce. With Meta gapping up, let's see where it's at. Yeah, not a bad spot. Not a bad spot at all. For Meta getting it back together. Let's see if yeah. Might even be back up to fight that good old 531.49. Man, that was a tough spot for Meta getting smacked down in that area. But it struck back, right? Pushing up. We'll see. Maybe it'll finally break and hold over this 531.49 that's been giving it all heck for the past few months. Now, energy news, oil on watch. U.S. crude futures jumped more than 4% on Wednesday after top Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh was assassinated in Tehran. It came just hours after Israel struck a senior Hezbollah military leader in Beirut, ratcheting up fears of a regional war across the Middle East, lending additional support for oil prices. U.S. crude stockpiles posted their fifth straight weekly decline, marking the longest string of crude drawdown since a 7-week streak at the end of 2021. Crude still tallied losses in July with WTI and Brent falling 4.4 and 6.6%, respectively. So we got, a jump in crude on Wednesday because of tensions and things going on in the Middle East. So that's how it is, right? Things that happen affecting prices and whatnot. So we'll see. XLE, right, getting some nice bullish volume. We'll see, what kind of materializes from that. Now, yeah, so it was and oil's been pushing up really all this week, showing a lot of relative strength in the midst of the market, which was struggling for a good bit. Today's markets in Asia, Japan down 2.5%, Hong Kong down 0.2, China down 0.2, India up 0.2%. The FTSE in London up 0.1, Paris down 0.8, Frankfurt down 0.7%, the Dow up 0.1, S&P up 0.4, Nasdaq up 0.4, crude oil up 0.8%, gold up 0.3, Bitcoin down 2.3%. In terms of today's economic calendar, we've got initial jobless claims at 8:30 a.m., PMI manufacturing at 9:45, 10 a.m., ISM manufacturing. So 9:45 a.m. and 10 a.m. we get like little pieces of information again that aren't like huge. I need to come up with a name for it, but can cause intraday volatility at the beginning of the day. Maybe we get some chop up until that data, and then we start moving after that. We'll see. And again, all of when I say that, okay, this is how we could behave. Understand that like this is based off of past price action, but it does not guarantee a crystal clear roadmap of future price action. That's not how markets are, right? When you think about every Fed day, right? We have a certain strategy, but the strategy is like an overarching if X happens. It's like in football when you have an option play, right? If so and so comes down to block this person, we're gonna throw the pass to player A. If so and so stays back and doesn't block this person, we're throwing the pass to player B, right? It's not player A gets it every single time or player B gets it every single time, right? It's a game plan that's contingent upon what happens. Because if you look at what's different between last FOMC day and this FOMC day, a ton. There was a past president that, there was an assassination attempt against, whether you believe it or not, right? Either it happened or it didn't happen, whatever, whether you believe it was real or not, there was an assassination attempt that happened, right? The other guy that was running for president, the major presidential candidate, dropped out and the candidates have switched, right? So I think that's we get so used to, oh, this is news and that's news and this is news. Yeah, no day is like the last day. No, all you can have is a loose game plan that shows you on average how things can behave, but you will never get the exact same movement twice. More likely than not. Why? Because it's a whole different world. We've got a different presidential candidate than the last time we got FOMC minutes. How crazy is that? I don't even know when the last time was that happened. I don't know if it's happened, right? So you have to keep all of that into account and understand the higher up of what's happening and not zone in on this is what it is. We have no idea of exactly what the game plan is for markets. No idea. It's all a game of probabilities and you saying this is how things behave. But you've got to be prepared to do whatever based off of that overarching idea, right? Based off of that overarch, it might require you to do slightly different things when it comes to the application, but the overarching idea of understanding how things move stays the same, right? That stays the same, and it's all a game of probabilities. But there is no 100% this, 100% that, right? That's not the game that we're playing. All a game of probabilities here. Now, Union Check UAW endorses Kamala Harris for president. NVIDIA, ticker NVDA, re-added to Morgan Stanley's top picks list. Bill Ackman's Pershing Square USA, ticker PSUS, drops IPO plan. 23andMe, ticker Me CEO, offers to take the company private. Boeing, ticker BA, names Kelly Ortberg as next chief executive. Delta, ticker DAL CEO, sees $500 million hit from global IT outage. Sheesh. AI drive-through Taco Bell, ticker Yum, expands initiative across U.S. Uber to bring BYD EVs in global markets. Carvana, ticker CVNA, rallies on unexpected profit and upbeat outlook. And then Russell 2000 rise, top five best and worst performers during July rally. So that'll wrap us up here, my beautiful people, and take us out on this fine August 1st, 2024. It's August, baby. We're in the heat. We're in the kitchen. It's getting hot. We are officially over the hump when it comes to 2024. We're in the descending period. Make sure you are utilizing each and every hour that we have left before this new year hits, because this year has flown by and I feel amazing about it. Why? Because we've got 1% better at least each and every day. Some days 10, some days 20, right? But if you aim for that one, you know that your time is well spent. So go out there today, have a great day. I'm already speaking into existence for you, right? Let's close the gap between where we are and where we're destined to be and have fun doing it. Like I said, I've got an appointment at 1 p.m. today, which means I'm going to try and be out of here at 11 a.m., right? So if you got any questions for me, get them to me before then, not directly then, right? Because I'm going to be on my way out. If you have any questions throughout the day, message me and I'll get to them as I can, right? But other than that, guys, just have a great day. I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for our last pre-market prep session of the week. Have a good one.